measure it flat, it contradicts that. I'm spitting flat facts and that. And I know you don't like that. Google Maps is flat, it presents elevation profiles like that. I'm a spitting flat earth king. Sentence has a ring, doing my own thing. If earth was a big roast chicken, factually finger licking chicken, we just got the measurements missing. I'm spitting eggs and begs, begging the question lesson. I've said it before, time after time. I'm the spitting flat earth king of rhyme.
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a coffee, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and X. Now we are joined by Neil, One Deck, Click OK, Jardo, and a whole bunch of people in the Flipside Discord server, so welcome one and all.
How are you?
Good morning.
Hello.
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 That was very enthusiastic. Very good to have you all here. I'm very pleased to see that the warm-up in the pre-show worked well. Become a member if you'd like to see the antics of the pre-show. Can't even remember what we were discussing. It was like 15 seconds ago. My terrible short-term memory.
Not taking businesses over.
Oh, yes, of course. It's me talking about back in the day. I was giving my literal resume statement about my career path from estate agent to recruitment consultant, admittedly with working in a bank and flogging mortgages in between, and then on to representative because of a discussion yesterday we had about writing books and having people take notes from you. So back when I was a recruitment consultant, I used to have a PA, and you just hand over letters that you wanted sending out, or in the case of pay slips, as that was something we were just discussing, getting those posted out was never my responsibility. I didn't have to put stamps on stuff. I mean, admittedly, I'd occasionally help the PA out by taking the letters on the way home to the post box maybe, but as far as actually producing pay slips, PA does that. That's not for me to do. Anyway, that's why we were discussing it, in case you were wondering, having summarised the pre-show. We are going to be...
So you mean to say... Sorry.
That's okay, good.
I was just going to say, so you mean to say that the person that is typing it is not the author?
I mean, not in that case. Certainly not. That's the joys of having a PA. From that day to this, I've never ever wanted to type anything ever again. Like, I want somebody to do that for me. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not like I don't know how to type. So in the art classes, a lot of the anecdotes that have worked their way into the chapters in the very near future, you'll hopefully be reading about this if you purchase a copy of my book. Hopefully you all do. But when it comes out and you're reading this stuff, initially the anecdotes have started off quite small. And I've obviously sat in this case, my daughter's art class on a Tuesday, and been typing up the anecdotes so they can be incorporated in with a small, admittedly, because it's chapter by chapter, story arc for a character that works its way into a discussion about a particular point that's relevant to the subject matter. So if we're talking about molten iron core, there's an incorporation of a character from way back when who had asserted that you could prove that there was a molten iron core, and then when asked to actually supply the evidence, his quote is, "I'll be right back," and never does, right? But similarly, in the same chapter, in fact, there's another character with a mini character arc that was recently discussed. So somebody from a company that produces maps, let's just say, and not produces, discusses and educates people on how to utilise maps. A sort of a reading company, let's call them. But that particular individual also made their way into one of the chapters, specifically the molten iron core, so that it could be explained about certain other aspects of the book, like getting copyright strikes, endless copyright strikes, because people don't like you talking about geography and Earth measurements, even when you're using them as the reference for the flat Earth millimetre accuracy topographical deviations in the vertical from sea level. They'll still copyright strike you and come up with some excuse to do so because they're put out as a result of you being a flat earther just talking about Earth's measurements, in this case ones that are being utilised by the very individual that's putting in copyright strikes. Well, that is a useful tool for me to link back to my discussions of copyright strikes, porn bombing, things of that sort of nature. Now, I was actually looking for sections to trim out literally before the show started, so I've got, I think it's 4 or 5. Yeah, I think I did the Parallax one already yesterday, so I've got 4 more from the 10th episode on the Feast of Nonsense. So Surf Daddy provided us with a great list of flat earthers' arguments, which I would call the old school Feast of Nonsense arguments. Just have some more coffee, I can put it down then. So those arguments have turned into an actual shorts video for each and every one of them that's been produced. And after listening to the last 4 on the 10th show, that's to say that there's still the 11th show to go to accumulate all these little shorts videos, I was listening back to me explaining to my live audience that I'm not going to necessarily temper my language, right? In other words, I've tried to self-censor to satisfy the desires of people who just don't want me to have foul language because they want it to be more shareable. Jardo's on the panel at the moment. He's one that's actually said this. It's like, look, I listen to the show and I'm often in presence of kids, so I have to be mindful of that. But by the same token, there's a certain disdain that I will express, and sometimes that is going to be naturally, by me at least, expressed through bad language. And I would hope that there's a level of understanding that's afforded me when I'm expressing disdain through bad language. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm going to give this as a disclaimer because we're about to listen to my interactions with worldwide debates. Now, somebody said I should go and listen to Christopher Walken in a 2006 movie or something about that, which was about pool players or something about that. And he's in the bathroom with this guy explaining about what lions have to do. And he's explaining, Christopher Walken's character, that the lions getting nipped and nagged by kids and wife, in essence. It's a metaphor, of course. But the animals around this watch and start taking liberties. They might start getting closer to the lion, or maybe stealing a bit of food from his near vicinity. But at some point, that lion gets up and shows the jackals and hyenas who's boss. Well, what you're about to listen is exactly that by metaphor. Now, I didn't come up with that metaphor, although it does fit perfectly, given that I was describing myself as a lion metaphorically being whipped in a circus. Now, that lion is unfortunately me. I'm actually a Leo, not that this means anything. There might be some women out there that care. But nevertheless, the metaphor still stands. Right? This is, as I say, what you're about to hear is me, that lion by metaphor, just showing a few jackals what's what. It does come with some extremely strong language. So if you are of a disposition that doesn't want to hear that, now's the time to remove yourself from any presence of children or whatever it is that you need to do in order to facilitate you listening, or don't listen, right? But there's going to be a strong language warning that comes with this. Now, if you listen to Friday's show, I think it was, we did cover Jesse Path of Light in the first 9 renditions of him being told explicitly that he's going to be using flat earth measurements to derive curve from. In fact, it was my opener when I was asked by Jesse specifically if I'd like to debate earth curve, my answer being no. There is no debate. You will derive earth curve from flat linear mile measurements. And he did 9 times and then ignored it. But that's where we're at. So you've had a summary of what was played on the last show that did actually have some of this worldwide debate material incorporated into it. But that's my warning. Has anybody got anything to add, or can we just get into it?
I am lying with my wife in bed, so depending on how the language starts, could be a quick dropout for me.
Okay. Hopefully your wife is prepared, at least, based on my disclaimers. So we'll get into it unless anybody else has got anything to add. Feel free. Okie dokie.
I was just only a quick one, Nathan. Are you just playing this through, or we mentioned yesterday maybe because the rhetoric has changed somewhat from how these discussions used to go. I thought it might be good if you could sort of, or you point out how are you dealing with these people now in this situation with the new rhetoric. You know, maybe you're going to be saying things that you wouldn't have said 12 months ago, you know, and dealing with the situation differently. And I think that'd be good to explain to the audience, especially to promote the book as well, because the book's explaining this, and this is an example of the book and the rhetoric. So I'm just trying to think of how to tie that in as a bit of promotion work, and just to say this is where we are now and this is how things have changed. And that's all it was.
No, I can do that. I mean, all that I'm doing in this particular session is reiterating points that are made clear in my upcoming book. So again, it's not necessarily going to turn you into a debating ninja, but were you to exercise your flat earth understanding based on the information held within the book, there's a fair chance that a similar discussion might befall you. Now, you might not be metaphorically fist fucking these people with their own flat earth linear measurements, but that is in essence what happens, and a taste of the language has just been demonstrated by me. That's how fruitful it gets. But my book doesn't. My book's far, far, far more tempered in terms of its language use, right? Because it's not me debating with anybody. It's not me being told in excess of a dozen times that the prerequisites being used by the opponent telling me this aren't flat when they require them to axiomatically be flat. They're deriving, in this particular example, curve from. But that rhetoric is tied up in old school dissemination of the previously thought to be arguments looped in with flat earth prerequisites by demonstration when you read each chapter. That is to say, when you're reading about earth curve, I'm highlighting throughout the book how earth is measured flat by prerequisite, to even suggest or infer that there's a mathematical derivation of earth curve to have after you've measured earth flat to do so. So that's kind of a vague idea to give you, a potential customer of mine moving forward when the book does come out, what you would get for your money if you bought a copy. You know, you'd be basically learning how flat earth is measured in all circumstances. Now, in practical application, because I've been saying, well, that has no practical application. Well, you can jump back into the globe earth versus anti-globe earth, it's flat earth in name only, pond, and this is the consequence of that. So if you're currently like in this small arena of people that are fighting the good fight of flat earth or fighting the good fight of anti-flat earth, then you would find yourself having similar discussions, and you can see how that plays out when the opponent's prerequisite flat earth requirements are pointed out to them, in this case by me. So it's just a taster of what you might, I don't know, alter your rhetoric to, should you read my book. Was that good enough? Is that what kind of thing you meant? One deck?
Yeah, you summed it up beautifully, Nathan. That's exactly what I meant. Nice one.
Awesome. Right, let's play a bit of this video. Agreed to debate you. There is no debate, you dumb fuck. Are you deaf? I'm not answering any of your fucking questions, you stupid retard. You're a spastic. You don't deserve my time. I've attempted to tell you 10 fucking times that you'll require flat measurements for your dumb fuck belief in a drop derived from them. You still think you're asking me something? Did you not hear the first time, you retard? No! There is no debate, fuckwit. You're using flat miles. Are you deaf? It's only been 11 times I've pulled down your pants and smacked your ass with your own dumb fuck flat measurements that you derive drop from, Jesse. And altitude and parallel eye level. That's 3. 3 flat earth prerequisites this dumb fucker's used to try and justify a non-existent debate. There is no debate. 12 times, Jesse, who's now getting Robert to White Knight for him. Jesse, you dumb fuck spastic globe-believing cuck retard. I will tear a strip off this dumb fuck globe-believer, no matter how many fucking cucks try and save him. That'll be Dawn. Dawn doesn't like Jesse getting raped, so he's got a yak through the top of me. Jesse, you dumb fuck retard glow cuck. You're deriving drop from flat linear miles. That's not a request for an answer. I am telling you, Earth's measured flat, you stupid retard. You're the one using it to suggest there's a debate. You fucking spastic.
So does anybody
Stutter for me! How do my fucking balls taste, you stuttery retard? Stutter for me. Stutter for me.
ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, you measure Earth flat in miles.
2026.
Right, giving the date isn't going to be a response to how flat you've measured Earth in 3 different ways. I'll repeat them. Eye level, parallel with surface level, sea level, measured for altitude, and distance, linear to derive drop from. You require flat measurements, you stupid spastic. Now stutter for me.
So, how does measuring...
I'm not answering any of your questions. Were you deaf? Are you deaf? Don't ask me anything, you fucking retard. I am not here to answer this dumb shit's questions. I made that explicitly clear when I said no, there's no debate you using flat measurements. Now you still dumb fuck think you've got the right to ask me something. No, I'm not in the position to be asked anything. I'm telling you, and you're confirming. When I say horizontal distance measurement will have curve derived from it, you'll have some fucking white knight scumbag talking through me. But besides that, the opener I offered you was your drop over what now? Distance. Flat Earth prerequisite linear measurements in miles that I opened with, and you ham-handedly told me I wasn't debating you. No, I'm not. That's correct. There is no debate. I will not be answering any of your questions. There's no questions to answer. You've confirmed distance to derive drop from. It is and can only be linear, and if it's applied to Earth's surface, it's described in miles. Same goes for flat Earth prerequisite elevations from sea level and, quote you while you interrupt my summary, parallel eye level. So, fuckwit being told by me, a flat earther, how flat you did, past tense, measure Earth flat while a load of white knight cucks tried to defend you and pull me off you. Well, that's not what's happening, Jesse. You're getting the metaphorical living shit beaten out of you with your own fucking words. Oh, altitude for the mountain, you say, Jesse. Yes, I did hear you when you were telling me that I need to debate after ignoring the fact that there isn't one. Altitude from sea level, perpendicular to it. Yeah, that's right. Same goes for the parallel eye level you appeal to, you globe-believing cuck spastic, using flat Earth measurements. You'll also need distance to derive drop from, will you, you stuttery fucktard? I'm not answering anything from you. I'm telling you. You, Jesse, measure Earth flat. And no amount of cucks around you will change how flat you'll derive the drop from. My opener.
Bro, you're making me feel embarrassed for flat Earth. So have you finished your opener?
Sorry, you confirmed it when you said you were going to derive drop from distance?
Well, it sounds like you're saying that on a globe there wouldn't be...
No, I didn't. Those words didn't cross my fucking lips.
There's these wankers immediately rip. I've gone through it about 4 times in that little clip. And the first words out of his mouth in response are, so you're saying that means he's potentially offering up either an inference of a quote or a verbatim quote. When somebody says, so you are saying, that means, so the words coming out of your lips are. And Jesse says, on a globe, those words didn't cross my lips. These people lie. Immediately. Doesn't matter how concisely I summarise. Distance, linear, you're deriving drop from it. You can't derive drop from it as a squared function or otherwise, unless it's linear. That's the miles in 8 inches per mile squared. They're flat. He's used them. When I told him no debate to have, the reason I gave him is because you'll derive drop from distance. That was the very first thing I said to him when he says, do you want to have a debate about Earth curve? What, drop over distance? Distance is flat, Jesse. There is no debate. Here we are, literally 9 times later, when I've said the same exact thing 9 times. What's his response? So you're saying that on a globe? No, definitely not. What a wanker. You've got to lie to be a glurf. It doesn't matter how many times you hear something. You'll hear, oh, he's talking about a globe then. What, with flat linear distances or perpendicular altitudes or eye levels? Now, the words on a globe never crossed my lips, but that's literally what this scum of the earth globe-believing cuck has done with what I've said to him no less than 8 times. Misrepresented it and made shit up that I didn't say. Good.
Sorry, Nathan. Well said. And yeah, you're correct. And I mentioned it yesterday. There's a clip. I think it was this bit I noticed on the evening we were doing this. When you said to him, you was using flat Earth measurements. That's what you offered me. And he fell silent. You could hear the penny drop. He went silent and paused. Then he started stuttering because he couldn't handle it. You're telling him straight. You are using flat Earth measurements. That's what you've offered me. And the penny drops, and I heard the penny drop.
Yeah, this entire back and forth is based on his opener to me. So he's proactively approached me and said, do you want to debate Earth curve? That's his invitation. Response, no, because there's no debate. Why is there no debate? Because you, not me, have immediately offered a flat Earth measurement. When you say Earth curve, we've measured that. How much Earth curves, what, drop over distance? The distance is linear to infer how much curve the Earth has got. We've measured it. We need a principle of flat linear distance in miles to measure it. He's used it. I'm pointing it out. What's that you say? On a no, I haven't said that. But that's what I'm getting back. Yeah, a complete misrepresentation in spite of, like I say, no less than 8 renditions of the exact same thing. My justification based on his standard he gave me immediately. He immediately said, debate about Earth curve. No, that's drop over distance. Distance is measured flat. Therefore, no debate. 10 times later. So you're saying on a globe, wanker much? Liar much? Gotta lie to glurf. The words on a globe didn't cross my fucking lips. What did was you will derive drop from distance. Now I can derive drop of a fucking hill from a horizontal mile, like you can derive drop over a distance measured in a horizontal mile. The words on a globe didn't cross my fucking lips, you piece of shit, lying cuck, globe-believing wanker who lies about flat Earth measurements and then suggests that words I haven't said have crossed my lips. When you say miles and derive drop from them, they can only be flat Earth linear measurements of distance. That is the 15th time I have told Jesse, the cuck dumbfuck, how flat he is measuring Earth to derive drop from distance. I've also pointed out parallel eye level, the rebuttal, I'm embarrassed for flat Earth. Then stop using it, you stupid fucking retard. I haven't appealed to distance, you dumb fuck globe cuck. You did. So if you're embarrassed for the flat Earth linear miles you'll derive drop from, don't fucking use them, you stupid spastic. Then you won't have me tearing a strip off you and calling you a dumb fuck, suggesting there's a debate when you need linear miles to derive drop from, you stupid fucking retard.
So wait, if we're doing openings, we're doing openings. And Jesse
stuttery bitch!
Do an opening on
How'd you like to stutter with my testicles in your mouth? Flat Earth miles much? It's only 16 times I've pointed them out. Anybody got any advance on the linear flat miles you're using, you stuttery bunch of cunts?
Is this
Hello?
a role play session? Are we role playing right now?
No, I am taking
we
down the
trying to have
pants
an
of
actual
globally. There's another couple of things. Are you done with your opener? At this point, I've counted off 15 renditions of the debate that he says we're supposed to be having that isn't a debate because he's used flat Earth measurements. After 15 renditions, his reply is, are you done with your opener? No, you haven't responded to it. And then from the sidelines, some other twat comes in and starts saying, are you role-playing? What, role-playing somebody that points out his claim uses flat measurements 15 times? That means, what am I role-playing? Somebody who's exacerbated at the fact that you are the ones using these flat measurements. But role-play? No, definitely not. Even spastic and pointing out how flat they measure Earth. No, there's no role play, Dumbo.
Like
Whoever
science?
said that. I'm answering him.
Because Jesse's trying to talk some science and measurements. But
Here we go. Now it's another misrepresentation from some cuck on the sidelines. Science, no, the cause and effect rationale through systematic experimentation based on hypothesis is not what we've gone through here. Jesse's definitely not offering science. What he is offering is measurements. And that's what I'm pointing out 15 times. The measurements are flat. Miles. They can't be anything other than flat because he's going to derive a curve from the linear miles. That's how his maths works. As I keep saying in all these shorts videos that are currently going out to the public, currently members only, half of them are anyway, you require Earth to be measured flat regardless of what you're claiming. It doesn't matter if it's me saying surveying topographical deviations to the millimetre accuracy, or Jesse saying flat Earth linear miles with a curve derived from them. You all measure Earth flat. That's it. That is how it is done.
But we're waiting for you to
measurements.
Finish
yeah, I know. I've responded to his measurements. Whoever's white knighting for him. Drop over distance. Yeah, the drops derived from the horizontal. The distance that he's deriving drop from is the measurement of Earth in miles. Who was that fucking globe cuck white knight? Who I'm now also spanking his ass. Yeah, he used measurements, dumb fuck cuck. Coming to the defence of this spastic. Yo, spastic! White knight spastic! Am I talking to a new spastic or the same spastic?
That you had an
stuttery bitches! How do you like stuttering while I take apart your shite? Stutter for me! Yeah, I can talk through you too, bitches! Yeah, I can talk through you too, you stuttery bunch of cucks. Yeah, measurements I heard. A white knight. I responded to the white knight cucking for Jesse and his globe with, oh, Jesse's here for science and measurements. Yeah, he used distance. And now I've got Jesse white knighting for his white knight. I'm addressing you white knight, Jesse. That's why you've been muted. You stupid globe-believing spastic cuck. You had a white knight talk to me, and I'm responding to the white knight. Jesse's using measurements. Yeah, miles. To derive drop from. They're flat. They're the measurements of Earth. You stupid white knight spastic. Now I'd like a response from the fuckwit white knight who felt the need to interrupt me. Before we get the cuck white knight's response, big shout out to, let's bring it up on my list, Goldie. Wow. Hey Goldie, good to see you. Thank you very much indeed for the super chat. Really appreciate the support. Should really read it. Says good morning / afternoon, and good morning to you too, Goldie. Thank you very much indeed for the super chat. Oops. Pressing play on my live preview rather than the video. Whoops.
Well, I run the server, but I just want to say we're glad to have you. This is this room in particular.
And now you're stuttering. Why don't you just shut up? Know how to be a good fucking moderator and shut your mouth.
Yeah, I'm not stuttering.
Yeah, you are. Do you want me to play it back to you, you fucking retard? I heard you.
Yeah, go ahead and play it back.
Go ahead and go ahead and. Go ahead and go ahead and. Should I go ahead and go ahead and? Should I go ahead and go ahead and? Or are you going to remove me from your server after interrupting me winning?
If I have to repeat myself, then I have to repeat myself. It's not stuttering.
You said he was appealing to measurements. You said you wanted to hear Jesse's measurements and science. Was that you? Now you've gone silent, it would seem.
No, I didn't pipe in. I don't have a position on this.
Somebody piped in? Well, then why are you telling me no? I heard an interruption. My God. Somebody said, we want to hear Jesse's science and measurements. End quote, white knight. Now, if that's not you, I'm not addressing you.
Okay, but I have to run this room. And it appears that you don't understand how this room works. Everyone can speak in this room. So you can't just demand control over it. However, you do have control over the Coliseum. That is the event room. You have mute privileges there. That is.
And notice I'm now being misrepresented by the server moderator, or owner in this case, Riggs, saying you can't just come and take over. No, I haven't. I'm there as a guest. I haven't tried to take anything over. What's happened is I'm addressing somebody that's talking to me, and a whole bunch of other wankers talking straight through the response. So while I'm talking to Jesse, trying to get him for the 15th time to concede his use of flat earth prerequisite linear distance, I'm hearing, we want to hear science and maths from Jesse. And I'm hearing, are you role-playing? You know, these are cucks from the sidelines. So I'm not trying to take control of anything. That's what's been put to me, and then I'm addressing it. And then Riggs comes along, who owns the server. Well, you can't just take control. Who said I wanted to take control? Quite the opposite. I think I point it out to him in the next clip. Now, I'm not trying to take control, quite the contrary. I want to be here in the pits without control, so that the bunch of morons who address me and get a response can't suddenly blame me being in a server that I control. I don't have a server. I never have. But in this instance, it's explicitly not my server that I don't have control over. And what he's about to do is offer me the control that I'm taking. Like, so you're going to offer me the ability to control a server that you've just told me off for trying to take control of? I haven't got any control. I'm in a public bit that anybody can talk in, end quote him. But what he's really doing is just interrupting. So I'm dealing with the science and maths that's been put to me in a public forum that I have no control over. Don't try and take control. I'm not. But you are interrupting this discussion. Why? Because you own the show? I don't give a shit. You don't. You run a server. It's just a little shitty Discord server that no one gives two fucks about. But the entire room's concerned with talking to me while I'm there, and don't want to hear you just because you own the room. Nobody gives a shit that you own the room. A lot of people give a shit what I'm talking about while you're interrupting to say I could have authority to mute people, because I currently haven't, in spite of you telling me off for being in control, Riggs. So there's quite a few contradictions in your nonsense that I didn't actually address, because obviously I still want to tear a strip off all the wankers that are in your room.
Actually, we went in there just to be spectators, Nathan. If you remember.
Well, just
and
in
they
there
seen you there and they got all excited.
Yeah, I was doing the dishwasher. I had my name mentioned from another room because I'm basically in a server so that the guys in my panel can have some conversation heard, because there was very little going on while I'm connected to the server. So I'm like, do you want me to go to a different Discord service so you can hear some discussions going on? Because I've already disconnected from the flip side. I'm like, yeah, find a random server with some people in and we'll listen to their discussion. So that's what we did. Initially, I muted my line to the server so that me and Neil or whoever's in the hangout can talk to each other and comment. And there was a whole discussion about bloody aliens, and we're just laughing our heads off at them. In other words, we're not even trying to interrupt them. Like, if there's anything to be added, I'm not suddenly talking over the top of them. I let an entire half an hour discussion go by about aliens and carried on doing the dishwasher until I was called into the public debate that anybody can talk on, but simultaneously I'm trying to take control of. And I was pulled in from doing the dishwasher, Riggs. Just in some random server. That's yours. Some random shitty server. Yeah, where the mod suddenly gets a bit big for his boots when somebody who everyone wants to talk to gets talked to. You want to hear your own fart-sniffing voice suddenly to tell me that I could have control that you're telling me I shouldn't try and take. No, I wasn't trying to take control. I was just telling the people in your server, when they addressed me, how they'd incorrectly asserted that there was science and how the measurements were flat. I tried to do that with a specific individual 15 times. I didn't get a response. I got a few white knights and then told that I'm trying to take over the control. Definitely not. Yeah? No mute button. Just so it's logged here. I stayed in the same room, just didn't retain any control, right? And in that process, I was hearing people from the sidelines cry out to have me muted. I was muted once, and everyone around was like, oh, I don't know why, but Nathan's been muted, right? At least once. Yeah? Just so you all know that there's projection going on. People suggesting that I've got a little mute button, and what they mean by that is I can control my show. Like, I can allow porn bombing to go out to the audience or close lines when people do things like that. Yeah, that's right. I can retain control of my show. That's correct. That's what running a show means. It's called producing. But they want to see that as we can justify when we mute you because we can't bear to hear it. At one point, literally, a guy was crying out, can't we mute him? Can't we mute him? right? While I'm pulling down the pants of about 30 different participants in a public server I don't have control over, taking charge one at a time, pointing out their own use of flat Earth measurements. In this case, Jesse Path of Light, 15 times so far, right? That's what's happening. And then it's, oh, by the way, don't take control here, but if you did want to take control, I can move. Shut up, Riggs. Nobody wants to hear your voice. I don't need them.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I don't need them. Thanks all the same. What I need is the response to the guy who interrupted the discourse. That's me telling Riggs I don't need control of mute buttons. Thanks. I'm all right where I am. I can absolutely beat the ever-living shit out of every single participant in this room without any mute button. I don't need one and never have. I obviously constantly get accused of needing a mute button. It's the fear in my opponents when they don't want to come here. Because they say, I'll mute them. No. I'll go to neutral platforms. I was reliably informed that McToon joined and then stayed ominously silent the entire time. Right, McToon? Yeah, there was no mute button there. Yeah, it wasn't my server. I was being offered it, as you just heard, and I said no. Yeah, in other words, sit down and shut up, Riggs. I don't care that you run this server. People want to talk to me. Yeah? They want to simultaneously ignore how they measure Earth flat 15 times and then suggest I'm role-playing, or that Jesse's got science and maths. That's the point that Riggs interrupted, because he wanted to hear his own voice. Because he owns the server. Nobody gives a shit about your server, Riggs. You didn't thank me for being there. At this point, you're just telling me I'm taking control. No, it's all right. I'm not challenging your authority there, Riggs. I'm absolutely devastating the participants on your server. No mute button needed, no control needed that you're offering me. Although thanks, that was really useful while I'm being told there's maths and science from Jesse. Very useful that you should interrupt at this particular point. By chanting through me that we wanted Jesse's measurements and science. I responded to him and now we got this for some reason. But thanks all the same. I don't need a mute button. What I need is the White Knight who piped up and said that he wanted to hear Jesse's measurements. That's correct.
Okay.
I listened to them.
If
now you're interrupting me again. It seems that you don't like what I do. You want to tell me about moving me or something while I'm repeating that which you interrupted the second time. White Knight says measurements. I'm about to repeat for the third time what those megements were to the White Knight who interrupted. Yeah, the measurements are miles. Now another White Knight's piping up. I mean, presumably I'm going to be told off in a minute. I'd just like to get to the end of the sentence about the linear measurements in miles that were used by Jesse. No, I'm never going to get to the end of this sentence. 5 attempts isn't enough.
Nathan, allowing other people to speak doesn't mean that your method won't work, right? So if
it's not my method, it's Jesse's.
You should actually hold on. I'm going to finish that, and then I'll be quiet. You should actually.
You invited them. They invited you for a debate.
You should actually rise to the question that Jesse posed to you.
Okay, can I respond to Omnivore, please? Can I respond to him or not?
What somebody who has actually had a position that they were not afraid of would do.
Moderator, can I respond to Omnivore, or are you going to tell him to allow to continue to just waffling constantly? Can I respond to him or not? Moderator, will I be interrupted if I now respond to Omnivore?
It appears you have the floor. People want to hear what you have to say.
Excellent. Yeah, just for Riggs's benefit, I had the floor before you opened your dumb fuck mouth because you thought you had the right to because you run the server. No, you just need to keep your mouth shut. If you want to be a good moderator and run a good server, keep your chop shut. Yeah, well, these people who want to talk to me were talking to me and getting their asses handed to them. That's not the most opportune moment for you to, demonstrate how threatened you feel by my presence, Riggs. Okay? There's no need. We didn't need to know that you run the server in that moment. You're all good. Yeah? No worries. You can just say thank you. When you say...
Right, address what Jesse
No, it
said.
seems I'm not allowed to. Omnivore's immediately interrupted me there, moderator.
Well, Omnivore's just going to get muted then. We don't want interruptions. It's chaotic.
You don't need to do that as the moderator. You don't need to tell us that you're going to mute people who keep interrupting the star of the show. That's me, Riggs. Just do your job as a good server host and shut him up when he interrupts the people who are wanting to be listened to, in this case me, not you. But we're hearing you flap your gums about how you'll mute him. Nobody wants to hear how you'll administer your server. Yeah, that's like me and the PA. Do your stupid job, PA. Just write your letters and print them out. Don't tell me about it. Don't need to hear how you're administering things. I'm doing the actual work here, okay?
Yes, you need to administer the people in the server and mute them when they can't help themselves. We don't need to hear about it though, Riggs, yeah? Yeah? You know, seen but not heard. That's what good moderators are.
Not enough.
No problem. I'll respond to moderator and omnivore. I was asked if I could rise to a challenge, suggesting that I can't, measure my altitude from sea level for the rise that you'd have to encounter to get to the top of a mountain when I address the rise that you'd encounter to reach the top of the mountain and measure it from sea level. I'm pretty sure I rose to that challenge quite nicely with a flat earth prerequisite perpendicular to sea level. Now, if Omni hadn't have been muted, I'd ask him how my fucking bollocks taste. Because I'm pretty sure I rose to that challenge quite nicely when I bitch slapped Omni's dumb fuck idiotic assertion that I hadn't risen to some challenge. Now, what I did was get asked if I would debate, and I immediately pointed out that there isn't one, because you dumb fuck globe-believing spastic cucks who can't help hold your tongue all use flat earth measurements. Now, in the middle of my 16th rendition to a dumb fuck cuck called Jesse about his use of linear distance that he was deriving drop from, implicitly, completely and utterly ignoring my opening fucking statement that there isn't a debate because you'll derive drop, that's curve, from linear mile measurements. So after the 16th rendition, he tells me that I'm not, gonna address his drop over a flat earth measured linear distance? Now, I've risen to the occasion. I've fucking raped Jesse with his own use of flat earth measurements because he couldn't take a hint when I told him there is no fucking debate here, and justified it by pointing out how flat he would and did use flat earth measurements for linear miles to derive drop from. I also pointed out a third ancillary to his height, that's rising to the occasion, and beating the shit out of Omnivore and Jesse, the fucktard globe cuck, with his rise to the top of the mountain measured from a flat earth prerequisite master reference of horizontal sea level. That's how we've got its fucking height. Now, that's not me rising to a debate, it's me beating the ever-living fuck out of Jesse the globe cuck with his own, not mine, his use of flat earth measurements for heights and mountains. I didn't mention a fucking globe, but I did describe how drop, that's a hill, can be described and measured perpendicular to a plane of reference. That's how Earth gets measured. We must have a plane of reference to get linear miles to describe the drop with. Now, that is the 18th time I have metaphorically fisted Jesse. He's getting raped with his own fucking words. That's what's actually happening. I'm done.
Do you enjoy raping men?
Yes, I enjoy metaphorically raping Jesse with his own flat earth prerequisite elevation from sea level, perpendicular to a plane of reference, and his parallel eye level. I enjoy metaphorically fisting his asshole with his own linear mile measurements, and then watching that stuttery little bitch stutter around a response and tell me how ashamed in flat earth he is after he's used it 3 different ways. Now, I can't help that this dumb fuck globe-believing cuck has to use flat earth measurements and subsequently get a metaphorical rape from me. I can't help that, but I do derive pleasure in beating the living shit out of Jesse as he mumbles and stutters about his use of flat earth prerequisite linear distance, his prerequisite altitude from sea level, and his parallel eye level. That I derive great pleasure from.
How would you measure the circumference of a basketball?
Sorry, is the Earth a basketball, or is this a false equivalence fallacy?
No, it's a different.
I haven't finished responding to you. Asked a question, and before I finish, I got 50 talking through the top of me. He asked me, how do I measure the circumference of a basketball? I heard his question and a pause, and then he carries on talking through the response in the middle of it. Now, I'm just going to call you a cunt. I'm answering you, you dumb cunt. You're still hovering on your mute button there, you dumb cunt. Yes, I can see it flashing on and off while you prepare to interrupt me. Earth's not a basketball, you false equivalent fallacy using retard.
I never said it was.
So why the fuck are you asking me?
Is this
I asked
worldwide
a question.
debates or
You asked me a question, now
basketball-wide
you're talking
debates?
through me.
I'm responding
Hold on.
to you,
You
dumb
asked
fuck.
No,
I'm
you asked me a
responding to
question,
you,
now
dumb
you're talking
fuck.
through me.
You retard, you dumb
You asked
fuck,
me
you
a question.
spastic. We're not in a basketball
me a
forum,
question, now
you
you're
dumb
talking
fuck
through me.
retard who keeps talking
You asked me
while
a
he gets
question, now you're
humiliated.
talking through
Yeah, I'm
me.
gonna fucking destroy you with your own shit. We're not in a basketball forum, you stupid false equivalency using retard. We're in
We're not in a forum either.
worldwide debates, not fucking constantly interrupt after using a false equivalence fallacy debate, you stupid retard.
Well, you shouldn't interrupt. You shouldn't interrupt then.
I'm telling you that we're not in a basketball debate, you stupid fucking clown.
But
There's
it's
no
a common
topic.
thing. It's a common thing for high IQ people to be able to entertain analogies and understand where and when it is or isn't relevant to the discussion.
Yeah, it's not relevant. So I'm just going to address that now. I think this guy got hovered past because I'm dealing with some guy called 50 with his basketball. Nevertheless, analogous. Why would I need an analogy? We've got measurements. For anybody else who falls victim to this, well, if Earth was like a giant roast chicken, then blah, 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 blah. No, we've got measurements of Earth. Yeah, it's the ones that Jesse appealed to. Distance, you say? Drop with respect to it, you say. Those are measurements. Do I need it in a freaking metaphor? No, I don't need it compared to a basketball by false equivalence, when literally the opener to the discussion was, there's no debate here, you'll measure a flat with distance and then drop from it. So why do I need an analogy? But apparently, by ad hom, inferring that I've got a low IQ. High IQ people can entertain analogies, what, when we've got measurements? No, that's just an ad hom.
And so a basketball can be relevant in one aspect.
Gad, was that one deck in the current time, in real time?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so like I said before, yeah, I mean, not you personally, but him using this, begging the question or analogy of a basketball to presume that the Earth's a globe. In days gone by, certain people would jump on that and start arguing about how would you measure a basketball and leave the fact that we measure a flat in the corner, and the globe-believing idiot's got his way talking about a basketball, how you measure basketball. That's not happening here with you now. This is how we've progressed.
Yeah, I've already addressed it when I say it's a false equivalence. We're not living on a basketball. That's a legitimate reason to not entertain this analogy. Oh, well, that's not because you've justified it as a false equivalence fallacy, because literally it's in the title of the room that we're in, worldwide, therefore not basketball debate. Therefore, the false equivalence will not fly. But I'm being accused of being low IQ because I won't entertain the analogy. What that really means to translate is, what's that? You won't allow me to beg the question of Earth's sphericity by comparison to a basketball. Yes, correct. I won't allow you to beg the question of Earth's sphericity with a false comparison.
I think they deny that, Nathan. They deny that he's using it as a comparison. I'm pretty sure.
In which case, it's completely non sequitur then. If it's not a comparison, that's to say he's refuting me suggesting it's a false equivalence, then why would we be discussing it? I'm not there to talk about basketballs. It's a complete red herring.
Even if that aspect is just to contrast how you would measure a flat planar area versus measuring a spherical area.
Oh, well,
it doesn't matter if it's not 100% one-to-one connected, because all that matters is that the analogy is being used to show a comparison or show a contrast in this one aspect or another aspect.
Just to point out again, just for the audience's benefit, what's happening is I'm allowing this gentleman who's new to the discussion to get to the end of his point. That is to say, I can hear him putting his full point to me. Now, in 15 or 16 or whatever his 18 renditions to Jesse, it was non-stop interruption the entire time. It's not getting acknowledged because it's being interrupted so it can't be heard by the rest of the Discord server, so that it can be accepted as never been heard, therefore doesn't need to be challenged, doesn't need to be acknowledged. Now, in this instance, when it's the other way around, you can hear in this clip, a couple of times thought he's finished, started talking, and then stopped myself so he can continue making his point. Now, I will, in almost all instances, hear the point that the opponent, in this case, perceived opponent, there is no debate, wants to make.
In this case, no, I can beg the question of sphere Earth by comparison because it's not actually a comparison, but you're low IQ for not accepting this analogy. That's what we're at in terms of their combined logical consistency that they're offering as a justification to beg the question. And I will iterate the fact that it's in false dichotomy in a moment in the actual clip, so we'll just get to that.
So it doesn't need to be perfect one-to-one parallel.
Have you finished? No, it's actually putting it into... Oh, you're not finished. Oh, my God, this guy's now talking. I'll respond to the guy that just white knighted for you there, 50 or whatever your name is. No, it's actually putting it into a false dichotomy by begging the question of sphericity. I assume Earth can be put into a dichotomy with a flat planar aspect. The aspect of the ground that we derive curvature from is flat. It's measured in miles. That's the aspect that we measure Earth with. I've pointed it out 19 times. That's the aspect that Earth gets measured with. When you suggest in false dichotomy that we can make a comparison to Earth as a basketball, that's called a begging the question fallacy. Assuming the outcome, that is to say, by comparison to a basketball, you automatically assume Earth is comparable as a ball. That's called a begging the question fallacy. So, you spastic globe-believing cuck who wants to fire off a couple of fallacies by using begging the question to a ball that we're not in debate about and is absolutely a false equivalence because we measure Earth. The aspect we measure is measured in miles, and they are linear. They'll do be big. I'm still fucking talking. Can the moderator shut this cunt up? This cunt that feels the need to talk through me after he used a false equivalence fallacy and compared Earth by this white knight's estimation as a begging the question comparison to a flat planar aspect we measure in miles. I'm just going to call them both fucking retards, even though this cunt keeps interrupting me. You're a retard. Earth's not a fucking basketball, and by putting it in false dichotomy, I won't accept you beg the fucking question of it. It's fallacious. No, we won't fucking assume Earth's a sphere, and no matter this cunt interrupting me incessantly. See, we're now at the point of conclusion. You know, it's been challenged. I've suggested it's a false equivalence fallacy. I've been told no, it's perfectly acceptable to beg the question of Earth being a ball by comparison in false dichotomy. That's not how they phrased it, it's how I've summarised what they've done. Now I'm getting to the conclusion, and I can hear mumbles and mutters and mute buttons. That's what this is. They are effectively muting me from the rest of the people in the panel, so that they can't hear me. That's what's happening. Yeah? It's going to change me pointing out how you've used fallacious logic and fallacious reasoning to assume we're a fucking basketball. No, I haven't finished. I haven't finished. My bad. I'm taking apart your shite. It's difficult because a lot of cunts want to interrupt me. I can see Edebear, the cunt, hovering off his mute button like he's been invited to talk. No, I'm talking about the flat aspect we derive curve from. You mentioned aspect, fucktard, globe-believing spastic who used the fallacy in false dichotomy. Can someone shut Edebear up? I still haven't finished the sentence. Please, can you shut this cunt who's interrupting me now as I speak up so I can conclude the rebuttal to the false dichotomy and begging the question fallacy. No amount of Edebear the cunt and this 50... This guy, can you shut him up, moderator? I've had to try and get this out 5 times. I was interrupted talking to him by a white knight. Now another one of Edebear's accounts is interrupting.
So we take turns here. This is open forum here.
Yeah, I haven't finished my statement about his begging the question. It was put to me that it was reasonable. But that's again, Riggs. What a wanker. So I'm getting to the end of my statement. It's interrupted 5 times. And when the moderator pipes up, I put it to him that I've got an attempted sentence not fulfilled 5 times, and he's telling me we take it in turns here. What, like when I listened to the guy, asked him specifically, have you finished, before I responded. Held back when I thought he'd finished, but he hadn't. But I'm being told we take it in turns by Riggs, the guy who likes his own voice. Because he's very important, he runs a server. Yeah, we all got to know about how Riggs runs the show. When he does an absolutely shite job of actually taking control of the people, ruining the discussion. As they interrupt me 5 times, I'm being told that we take turns, when I'm in the middle of one that's been interrupted 5 15 times. Unreal. Yeah, you're biased, Riggs. to suggest Earth's sphericity by false comparison, and then it was suggested to be reasonable logic by a white knight who said that it's used for comparative purposes. Now it's the 6th attempt to unpack that. No, you got a couple of fucking retards who use fallacy. That's a false dichotomy begging the question. See how I'm still... See? Now, will Riggs open his dumb fuck mouth to tell that guy off like he just told me we take turns here? Will he? Will he fuck? Right? No. He wants to exercise his power because he feels inferior to me. So he only needs to check me, right? It's very telling, Riggs, yeah? Do you feel a bit inferior to me, you pindick little prick? Yes, obviously by your behaviour. You're demonstrating how inferior you feel. Sad.
Sorry, this is when he's supposed to take authority and run his server properly and shut whoever's talking up until you're done.
No, instead he's telling me, we take turns here. What, like the turn I offered the guy I'm responding to when I asked if he was finished? Yeah, he didn't get checked. No, the guy interrupting now won't get checked. No, but I will. Yeah? Why? Well, because Riggs feels inferior to me. Yeah, he needs to let me know that he's in charge. Nobody gives the tiniest of shits about your little server, Riggs. Nobody gives a flying fuck about you either. Yeah? Just some little man who operates mute buttons. Yeah, the difference is you broadcast how you're muting people like it's of some administrative importance, that what you're doing with your mute button is heard. Me, I've already told you I don't need one. Yeah? I can hold my own with 20 people piling on me. You need to... Everybody, I'm in charge here. I do have control of the mute button. Right, Riggs? You pathetic little scrote. Still getting interrupted, moderator.
No.
See how it's the 7th attempt. Seventh attempt. Yeah, because I'm not getting the end of it. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the tactic. Interrupt 7 times and then say, oh, we're just hearing the same thing over and over again. That's their tactics. That's as good as they've got. Being told it's an open forum, we get to talk. Now I'm hearing someone else's fucking voice. You see, you guys need a mute button. I don't get to expand the rebuttal.
No, I'm not going to let you.
So we can wrap it up one more minute.
You've had the opportunity to elaborate more points and give more clarity to your point, but you're just restating the position for the 8th time. You're not giving more clarity in any aspect whatsoever. He, by definition, could not have been using a fallacy because a fallacy is related to an argument. Him bringing up this point was not an argument. There was no argument that was made trying to compare a basketball to the Earth.
I said argument. That's literally his argument. So this wanker says he's not trying to make an argument when he makes the argument of comparison, false in nature, of a basketball to an Earth. Yeah, that's an attempt to make an argument, you stupid clown. My God.
Didn't I tell you they were going to deny it?
Say again, Neil.
Didn't I tell you they were going to deny it?
What, deny that they're having an argument?
No, denying that they're going to use the basketball as an analogy. That's why they're talking about measuring the basketball, because they're comparing it to Earth. And now he's saying he's not.
Basketball, you dumb fuck retard!
There was never an argument presented.
Yeah, correct. Earth, that's correct. Yes, the one thing you've said that's true. There is no... I'm responding. No, there's no argument. It's just I respond, he keeps talking.
I wasn't finished. Nathan Oakley, do you love black people?
So, did you hear the question? So what I got asked was, Nathan Oakley, do you like black people? That was the response. So 7 attempts to rebut this false dichotomy, begging the question, basketball comparison. Yeah? False equivalence fallacy. 7. Now I'm being asked, do you like black people? That's what we get.
Yeah, that's non sequitur. Right.
Well, it's an attempt to destroy my credibility. I'm broadcasting, right? This is now going out to an audience. What he wants to do is catch me in a social faux pas so he can penalise me socially for it. It's the lowest of the low scummy tactics. That's what it is.
Character assassination.
Yes, character assassination. Totally ignore the 7 rebuttals, where by false comparison, false in nature, we are comparing, in a suggested to be argument, the assumption that Earth's spherical by comparison to a basketball. I've been told, no, we're not doing that. Do you like black people? Being measured flat as an aspect means there is no debate.
There is no discussion, and having it suggested to be comparable to the measurement of a flat aspect is setting up a false dichotomy and is begging the question. Now, I've expanded on it, even though you've hand-waved my delicate phraseology when pointing out your use of begging the question. It is a begging the question, assuming one's outcome, to suggest the thing you're trying to prove. In this case, Earth's sphericity by comparison to a basketball. That is begging the question.
No, for it to be begging a question, it would have to have been an argument. He never made an argument. There was
He
never any argument
argued
made
that
to
it's
actually compare the
comparable.
basketball to.
I heard you the first time, and you didn't acknowledge my response. He argued that the measurement of a basketball is comparable
No, he didn't.
to the measurement of Earth's surface. That's an argument, you dumb fuck.
I didn't argue that. Watch. Hold on. Watch. Let me try this with Yusuke. Yusuke, how would you measure a basketball?
I'm out then. Okay, you carry on without me. You bunch of fucking cowards.
Oh, we don't. No. Stay, please.
There's specific,
Stutter for me!
Not geography.
Stutter for me.
Geometrical mathematical equations that would be used to measure the basketball. I don't know them off the top of my head.
Right, is it a basketball debate?
Why would they be talking about a basketball? Worldwide debate?
Wrap it around
I don't know. It's basketball debate, Neil. I don't know why they're talking about basketballs. Maybe it's because they're fucking cowards and can't cope with miles.
Because not all measurements are linear.
Right, sorry, have you never seen the scale on a map? Sorry, someone said measurements of what miles aren't linear. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, the point is,
I'm just responding to the guy who just spoke to me. The guy said not all measurements are linear. I said miles are. If you're going to derive drop from them, like Jesse, the raped fucktard who seems to have gone very silent, did, you'll need them to be linear because you're going to be deriving fucking drop from them. So miles are absolutely a flat Earth linear measurement of distance. So I'd like an acknowledgement from the, spastic, that seemed to suggest there's an argument about linear measurements of maybe basketballs. We're not talking about measuring basketballs. We're measuring Earth's fucking surface. And you're deriving your belief in a curve from the flat mile measurements that are unequivocally flat.
This is what happens, right? So my opener, the very first thing I said, probably about an hour before this point, was there's no debate. You will use flat miles and derive curve from them. That was my opener. Here we are. It's probably been 22 times that has been highlighted, but not once has anybody in this room acknowledged it. I've been told I'm role-playing, asked if I like black people, told by false equivalents that we could beg the question of Earth being a basketball. Every single one is a red herring away from my opener. Jesse will use flat measurements to derive curve from. And here we are, still being ignored, right? That's what's happening.
And if they're not, you won't be deriving any fucking curve from them. That is the 20th time I've pointed out how you bunch of spastic globe believers unequivocally require Earth be measured flat. In linear, that's to the spastic who just spoke, miles.
You are a flat Earth believer, though, aren't you?
I wasn't talking to you. I was asking for an acknowledgement from the guy that said not all measurements are linear. I pointed out that miles are. I'd like a response from him and not somebody else.
Miles
Can you please mute
linear,
Edabear until I get a response from the guy who addressed me? Oh, it's not a free-for-all.
Bro, we're trying to answer.
The guy.
I'll respond to that. As you are.
We're trying to answer.
He was talking to me. I'll respond to it.
There's three people trying to talk to Nathan. Can we get a line going?
Yeah, can I just speak to the one dumb fuck who said all miles aren't linear? No, miles are linear. I'm talking to that dumb fuck that spoke before Edabear the White Knight decided to pipe up in his place. Dumb fuck who said, not all measurements are linear. Yeah. Miles are linear, though, you fucking retard. Can you mute Edabear, please, server operator? Because I'm still not getting a response from the guy. Gakuka and Edabear are both the same person. Can you both just mute them? Right? No. Guy who said that not all measurements are linear. No, miles are linear.
Yeah, so
that wasn't me.
That was me. That was me. If that's the case, what you're describing is measuring the Earth from something flat.
It's not an if statement.
The Earth as
it's not an if. It's not if miles are linear. I'm not asking for a fucking debate on the subject, you dumb fuck, manifactotum. You dumb fuck spastic.
Well, that's what you're getting.
I'm responding to you, dumb fuck cuck of a globe believer. Dumb fuck. It's not an if statement. Miles are linear, you dumb fuck.
How would you measure the...
So why am I being asked something? Dumb fuck manifactotum. You just put a fact into an if statement and I'm calling you a spacker. No, you dumb fuck. Miles are not if they are flat. They are a linear horizontal distance. You and Jesse Spastic Path of fucking Light will require it to be so to suggest you can derive curve from them. So I'll say it for a fourth time to manifact dumb fuck. No, dumb fuck. It's not a fucking if statement. I'm telling you, while this other cunt interrupts me, that you're not going to put a fact of fucking Miles being linear into an if statement, you stupid spastic.
Is the book tour
one more time.
started already, Nathan?
Now we got another dumb fuck. Now we got Bev dumb fuck talking instead of manifactotum if statement, retard.
What is wrong with you?
Now we've got left lane. How many more fucking bitches do you need to defend you, manifactotum? How many more bitches do you need to come and defend you, manifactotum? That's a lot of bitch defense you got there. You got a lot of bitches defending you, manifactotum. A lot of bitches talking for you there.
Nathan, sorry, one second. Moderator room. I know he's here and you guys want to talk to him. One at a time, please. Stop ganging up on him.
No worries. Yeah, you all calm your little pissy pants, bitches. Manifactotum, you attempted to put a fact of statement with regard to linear miles into an if statement. And what I did was, bang, beat the living shit out of you metaphorically by saying, no, you fucking spastic. Miles are linear. You cannot derive drop from them linear in nature unless you admit that it cannot, under any circumstances, be put into an if statement. You have and have been called a fucking retard for it. Do you understand, you fucking retard, calling Miles an if they are flat?
What? Yeah, you're just wrong, though. As evidenced by the other guy who said that you can measure a basketball with inches, and there's no meaningful distinction between inches or miles except the length, right? There's no difference in those units as to how they can measure something.
No, miles are linear.
Nope.
But can you shut this spastic up? I'm talking to Manifactotum and I'm hearing nope from this guy who's speaking. Spastic who's speaking, stop. No, miles are linear, Manifactotum. Are you a fucking retard? Do you not know what a mile is?
At the origin, they're not arc, they're linear.
Yeah, I'm telling Manifactotum. He seems to want to challenge me on this. No, you're a spastic. Miles are linear. We are not using tape measures to derive millimetre accuracy in the perpendicular when we describe the topographical deviations from miles. Those are unequivocally perpendicular to a plane of reference with sea level and measured in linear miles, you fucking retard.
A switchback road that climbs up a mountain is also measured in miles. Is that perfectly straight?
It's derived from the perpendicular elevation from sea level. So perpendicular to a flat plane of reference then, a bit like the dumb fuck Jesse retard spastic also used. So the height, perpendicular to a plane, measured with an average at sea level, that's a flat earth prerequisite also. You dumb fuck globe cuck spastic using altitude measured. So there's 50 again. Can you just fucking shut him up permanently, moderator? It's the 7th time he's interrupted this very discussion. He's a wanker. He's not helping me absolutely rate Manifactotum with the facts in the matter when you need them to be linear also when you derive curve functionality from them, like 8 inches per mile. That's a flat linear distance that you can only have horizontal and linear to derive curve from. We measure Earth's surface with it. It's called a mile. It is linear. Manufactotum's just a fucking retard. There's no disputing this. It's not up for debate. It doesn't matter if Manufactotum disagrees. Number one, he's a spastic. Number two, Earth's measured in linear miles. We measure to the millimetre accuracy when we describe topographical deviations of altitude with respect to sea level.
No, wait,
I'm
like
really not the spastic in this conversation, but if I repeat the question, will you answer it this time?
Will you suck on my balls and give me good eye contact? No, I'm not answering any fucking questions. I'm telling you, you spastic, that you require miles to be linear. I've said it 21 times.
Bro.
I'm not here to answer Manufactotum twat-face questions. I'm here to tell you, you spastics, that's the 8th interruption to this conversation, moderator. This guy, this wanker who keeps talking through me. No, I'm not here to answer your fucking...
Is it just me? Or am I not hearing some guy who's feeling a bit threatened by Nathan Oakley's presence pipe up to tell this person that we take turns here? Is it just me? It's only me that gets told we get to take turns in the server? Is it just me? We're not hearing that sentiment echoed to anybody except me. Did you notice that? Yeah, Riggs. Yeah. Got a bit of an inferiority complex there, haven't you, mate?
Yeah, he's letting like 5, 10, how many of these, and just over-taught you, jump in and out. You're trying to keep, well, good job you are keeping track of who's saying what. I don't know how you do that, but you're doing a good job of it. And he's not even piping in to tell them, or muting them, just mute them on the quiet and leave one talking. Not doing any of that.
In questions, Manufactotum, I'm telling you, miles are flat.
So why are miles? Why are miles
there's him interrupting again.
Metric of measurement? Why are miles?
I'm not hearing Manufactotum again. Someone else white knighting for him. Do you want me to pull him off him? Nah, it's okay, lads. You bunch of pissy pants bitches. That's all right. It's all right. I'm going to absolutely destroy Manufactotum. No matter white knight bitches jumping on me. Going to save
you said you wouldn't do that. You said you wouldn't do that. You said you wouldn't entertain.
Stuttery bitch. You're not Manufactotum.
Miles.
Stuttery bitch. You are not Manufactotum. You're not Manufactotum.
If there's a curved,
you wait your turn to get raped.
Do we not?
Wait your fucking turn.
How long?
I'll rape you shortly. We're dealing with Manufactotum, the dumb fuck who said miles aren't linear. No, Manufactotum, you abject spastic. I'm not having a discussion about it. I'm telling you how fucking wrong you are. Miles are linear, you stupid spastic. When we just...
Is that somebody wanting to add something from G+?
Yeah, they're actually arguing about what miles are. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Describe topographical deviations. Why am I being interrupted? White knights need to save you, Manufactotum. You can't cope with Nathan Oakley. You need everybody else to defend you like white knight bitches. This is their mute button. Manufactotum needs a load of mute button users. I like your mute button, bitches. I'll try again without the bitches interrupting me. Manufactotum.
So Yasuk, hi. May I?
No, you may not.
Right.
No, you may not.
Answer my questions.
I'm not answering any questions. I've already told you that.
Exactly. So if you're not going to engage with me, I'm not going to waste my breath.
Oh, I am engaging with you. I am engaging with you. This is me engaging with you.
Let his head against the
I am engaging with you. I'm telling you that miles are flat. That's not me answering any questions, though. It's me telling you. You don't seem to understand the distinction between being capable of asking me something when I say, no, I'm not answering any questions, and me engaging with you when I fucking tell you you're a stupid clown spastic when you say miles aren't linear, when we derive topographical deviations in the vertical perpendicular to them. Miles are absolutely linear, you fucking retard. Is that me asking you to ask me something? No, dumb fuck. I'm telling you as I engage with you, Manufactotum, aka the metaphor of you getting pinned down and raped by me when I tell you that miles are a flat earth measurement, linear in nature. That will require a bitch jumping on your behalf. Here's a bitch with a mute button jumping in on your behalf again. A little bitch. A pissy flat bitch that's going to defend you, Manufactotum. No, I am engaging with you. I'm destroying you with your own suggestions that we've got. What, non-linear miles? Oh, really? How non-linear are they? Will we describe them from some other concept to describe how non-linear they are? Oh, no, there isn't anything to describe them with respect to, as I get interrupted by the same cunt again for the ninth fucking time.
Same thing.
Why is the moderator... Where's Riggs? Riggs, my man. Remember? Nathan, we all take turns here. What a fucking incompetent wanker the operator of this server is. You useless twat, Riggs. Did you feel necessary to tell me we take turns here? Well, here we are responding to you and your shit server that you can't keep control of. Oh, it's only the star of the show that needs telling that we take turns. Every other wanker in your shit server has got the capability of muting me incessantly. Oh, if I had control, I'd be getting blamed, wouldn't I? As I shut this man up with a mute button. But here we are with Riggs, the incompetent twat, with his little inferiority complex in his shitty little server that he can't keep control over. What's wrong, Riggs? Aren't you man enough to control these people like I'm doing? I mean, you felt the need to tell me that we all take turns, Nathan? Yeah, like the turn I gave him when I asked him if he was done. That doesn't seem to be afforded to me. As a guest, a random guest, Riggs. Get a grip, Riggs. Yeah, you run a shit server. You've got no control. These people don't respect you. Yeah?
The funny thing, Nathan, is their rebuttal is you keep saying the same thing because you're long-winded, but they keep responding the same way, so you have to say the same thing.
They are so fucking incompetent that he's allowed this wanker to interrupt me 9 fucking times. I'm saying the same thing. I'm saying it live, as live. You can hear me in the server going, oh, right, the server moderator who's checked me a couple of times isn't piping up then. Yeah. And I'm saying it to the server. While I take the great pleasure in raping Manufactotum. No, I'm not engaging with you. This is me engaging with you, Manufactotum. There's still a load of bitches that need to tear me off you when I tell you over and over again how flat miles are. That's just a fact.
He can't have a conversation. He has to ran over everybody.
Yeah, so
I've literally just been accused by some other random wanker that I'm running over everybody. No, I'm trying to engage with somebody who's telling me, you aren't engaging with me. Oh, right, so when I engage with him, that's to say metaphorically, pin his head down and fist fuck him with his own linear mile measurements. That's me not engaging as a load of pissy flat little bitches jump on top of me as I do so. That's engage with him, the thing he's literally crying out for me to do. I've just been accused of running over everybody after the 8th interruption. Projection, baller be thy name.
So there are 3 things that I do, right?
This man's not Manufactotum.
I run on a track. And
this man's not Manufactotum. This man's not Manufactotum.
3 things that I do.
So no conclusion for Manufactotum then. We'll just chalk this up to Manufactotum being a complete bitch coward.
I don't know if he's just not listening, so there's no point in keep engaging him.
Well, I'm talking to Manufactotum.
Is there at least let people talk?
Nathan, since you destroyed Manufactotum, is there anyone else you want to challenge?
It's not a challenge. I was correcting him. I was correcting him. Yeah. It's just he hasn't acknowledged the correction, and every time it comes, this happens. Do you see how this guy's now talking while I'm talking? That's what happens when I correct him. Now, he hasn't acknowledged the correction, and until he does, he's going to get absolutely chastised indefinitely. That's one man, Manufactotum, this fucking retard who thinks miles aren't linear. They are.
There's a curve.
That's not Manufactotum. It's the same 10th time, moderator. Just kick him out.
I'm not interrupting you.
What does it interrupt? Kick him out, moderator, you useless twat.
You weren't even talking. Nathan, you weren't talking when I started talking. So I can't.
I'm talking to Manufactotum.
When you interrupt me to tell me that
you're not the starry, you dumb shit. Nobody knows who you fucking are or cares. Shut up.
Okay. Wow. So there's a road near my house.
Nobody gives a shit. Shut up.
Okay. No, this is an open forum.
All right.
There's a road near my
I can't
house.
speak to people in your forum, my friend. I'm talking to the moderator now.
There's a road near my
I can't have a conversation in your forum, moderator.
If
the conversations I have get interrupted and don't come to a conclusion.
I'm being interrupted.
I'm talking to Manufactotum. You're interrupting the discussion about linear miles.
Manufactotum dropped out, and now you're interrupting me.
No, I was talking to Manufactotum. The coward bitch needs you to defend him like a white knight. And now we've got audio chaos because the moderator won't do anything about it. He's just allowing you. Is this sorry? Just to quote the rectum that runs this Discord server. We take it in turns here, don't we, Riggs? Yeah? So did you need to point that out to me during the complete audio chaos in your shitty server that you haven't got control over? All right. I wonder why I was being checked. Inferiority complex.
It's funny, Nathan.
Good.
Sorry. I'm just saying, it's funny. I was obviously listening to this show and there, but and taking everything on board. But I don't know if anybody's when you listen to it second time round, like you can really zone in. You miss some of this when it's live. The rigs, you know, not really, just only telling you and letting everybody talk over you. You know it's happening, but it's now they'll be listening to it again. And you picked up on it marvelously at the time.
Yeah, I mean, Riggs, if you're listening to this, maybe you can explain your actions. Yeah? You checked me a couple of times, yeah? Suggested that I need giving a mute button in this open forum where we can all take it in turns, end quote you. But that's not what's happening. Now, I was the only one that got checked. I'd like to know why that was. Now, I know why it was, yeah? You felt a little bit threatened by me, didn't you? Oh, there's a bigger star here than me. Someone more important than somebody who runs a Discord server? Because that's giving you heightened importance, isn't it, when you demonstrate your inferiority complex to me, right? But in reality, you're a useless twat, Riggs, yeah? Nobody respects you. That's why this is happening in your server. Now, me, I've got to chastise and bitch slap all the people in your server. Now, you felt the need to demonstrate your authority and tell me to respect it. Like, no one else has any respect for you, though, have they, Riggs? In your little server that no one gives a shit about. You to cause this shit show.
Yes,
he won't step in, he's tolerating it.
Let me get my point out.
No, I won't. I'm talking to someone else.
For a
my point's only
don't care what your point is.
You can,
talking to Manufactotum.
You can monologue for 5 minutes after I make my point. Okay, thank you. So near my house, there's a curved road, right? If miles are linear, there'd be no way to measure that curve because...
we'll just have a discussion amongst ourselves till this twat finishes speaking, and then once he's finished flashing,
idiot.
I'll carry on talking to Manufactotum. I learned this trick from Rumpus. When this happens, right, when you're getting overrun by people who just insist that they have your ear. So this guy is saying, you must listen to me, right? I've got a road that's curving. So what I've done is I've gone in and I've server muted myself and deafened myself. So they can see in the server deafen next to my name. So there's no uncertain terms here. You aren't going to tell me what I'll listen to and therefore respond to. If you're just going to decide that, no, I don't get to continue the conversation with the coward, in this case, Manufactotum, who this bitch, the guy who's talking now, has decided, no, I will white knight for Manufactotum. He's getting absolutely destroyed. So you, Nathan, you're going to listen to me. No, I'd still have control of whether or not I listen to you. There's a server deafen button. So I just press the little server deafen button and suddenly the server cuts off. I'm not listening to you. No, absolutely not. Yeah, you can see the reaction to me deafening myself so I don't have to listen to them. No, I won't be listening to you. Manufactotum. As this guy finished talking, I was talking to Manufactotum. I'm not interested in talking to the guy who's interrupted 10 times.
I don't care because Manufactotum dropped out. You're not in the conversation anymore.
All right, well, I'll just make my conclusion then and I'll move on to next man. If I can be allowed, I'll make my conclusion. If coward bitch Manufactotum's dropped out, it seems like every time I talk, I get talked through. I'll have to go on server deafen then. Okay, I'll wait till you're all done.
I'm trying to run.
It's a joke what they're doing.
He's running.
Because the moment
he doesn't want.
Welcome back. The server is going to disconnect because we're here for Nathan. That's the truth. So
why don't we ask him? Let's see who Nathan wants to.
We're here to see if we'll finally be able to defend any.
Your mic sucks my ass. If Nathan would like to participate using the proper functions, we have an event.
Again, this is Riggs. Look, Nathan, everybody's interrupting you, and rather than me saying the same exact thing I've said to you, which is we take it in turns here, end quote, Riggs, he's now saying, look, I can give you a mute button, then we can blame you for this audio chaos. Yep. That's what he's doing.
When all he really has to do, Nathan, all he really has to do is say, I know that in this forum anybody could open their mic and talk. But Nathan is here, so just go one at a time. He doesn't want to go to the event room. He doesn't want to go to the freaking whatever the other room is, he said. But he won't do that.
No.
He wants
what he should have done in the beginning when Nathan's pointed out that, Earth will be measured flat in all instances and there's no debate and miles are linear, is get someone to respond to that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Coliseum, that's the other room, the Coliseum.
Exactly. So rather than taking heed, me saying, this is the 18th time I've said this. This is the 19th time I've said this. Am I going to get any acknowledgement to the 20th rendition? Everybody's piling on. Now the guy who I was talking to, that's Manufactotum, has run like a coward bitch in amidst the chaos. So there's audio chaos and he can skulk away without anybody noticing. What a pathetic little coward. So he doesn't have to acknowledge what I've said in excess of 20 times. No, we can be talking about how I should be moved to a room where I do have control over the mute button. So then I can be blamed. Yeah? No, it's all right. I'd rather the mod actually took charge like the pathetic cuck that Riggs is. The absolute ineptitude that it comes to running his own server and stopping audio chaos, getting points addressed. I know it's a free-for-all. No, we all take it in turns. Which is it? Yeah? Why are those points only ever being addressed to me? Yeah, I could keep saying Riggs feels a bit threatened by me. Same as all of them.
Showed up. He's causing chaos. All right, so if you guys, I can move him up to the other room. We can do.
Literally, Riggs just accused me of causing the chaos. That's what he just said. Yeah?
I didn't hear that the first time. Wow.
I did. He's saying, you can't get away with blaming me for muting everybody. So when everyone is opening their mics and there's a point blank refusal for the person I'm having the discussion with to get a response out of them. No, that's not allowed. I'm being told we take it in turns. When everybody piles in to defend Manufactotum, who skulked away like a complete coward, I'm then being told, well, we can put you in a different room where you do have control of the mute button because you're causing the chaos. That's what's just been accused of me by Riggs, the owner of the oh-so-neutral server.
Do it formally. We don't have to have this. He can do his show the way he wants to do it.
Can you, this is a consideration, just drag everyone up there right now, and then Nathan can carry on.
Yeah, let's just count. Nathan, can we just do that? We're just going to take you to the event room, and we can continue. Is that all right?
All I want to do is make my conclusion. I'm not going to get around to. See, all I want to do is round out the point. Manufactotum has suggested that we can put Miles into an if statement. Yeah? Now with no chaos, and just you, my live audience, I can explain this. It's not like you didn't hear me attempting to explain it with a load of white knight cucks jumping on me and that apparently being my fault. I've caused the chaos. No. We've got a suggestion that miles aren't linear. They are. Now I've corrected somebody, and before they've managed to actually acknowledge the correction, a load of white knights have cucked for them and they've sloped off. AKA I've caused the chaos. Nah. But we could be listening to the server operator suggest that we move to a different room. What's wrong with this room? Oh, would you have to actually have authority over the people that won't listen to you, Riggs? Like no one's got any respect for you. Yeah?
What do you like?
All right, can I answer?
I still want to know because
still not getting. No, this man's talking for me, my friend.
It.
This man's talking for me. You spoke to me directly. Someone else's. I'm hearing someone else's voice, my friend. So I can't reply to you. I'm being asked, do I want mute privileges? I'm trying to answer, no, I'm all right, thanks. I can hold my own without mute button, I'm good. And what I'm hearing in the background is a guy go, do you love black people? Do you love black people? I want to ruin you socially. I want to ruin you socially. That's what we're hearing over the top of this. Yeah? He's directly addressed me. The moderator himself has addressed me directly by name. Accused me of causing the chaos. And then before I even respond, do you love black people is being muttered over and over again. Riggs, the incompetent twat that runs this server, hasn't said a fucking word. Maybe as a decent moderator, you might shut this guy up as you've specifically addressed me by name. Can I answer you?
I've been trying to communicate to you. This is the proper room when you join, sir. You have
I can administer rooms. I run a Discord server. It's important we talk about which room we're in. No, it's all good. Yeah? Don't need to be in some other random room when all that's happened is somebody's sloped off. But now that's being dissolved by the moderator himself. Yeah? The facts in the matter. Now, Manufactotum denied our linear miles are. It's a flat earth prerequisite proof. And I've had to fight off about 7 people just in this clip, right?
Have moderator privilege here.
I don't want moderator privilege. I haven't asked for it.
Well, look, as a content creator, this is a feature that you have here. You can run shows out of this room.
Now we're having an argument about how I produce my shit from some twat who runs a Discord server. Now, I'm all right, Riggs. You know, what I needed was Manufactotum to actually respond to me, but you didn't do anything about the 7 people that interrupted and allowed him to skulk away unnoticed. Yeah? Now we're talking about which room you feel we should most appropriately be in. Really? Really? This is important, is it? Seen but not heard, right? Good moderators, you hardly ever even hear their voice. They just do their job and shut people up when they're inappropriately talking and interrupting the discourse. You're not doing that, though, are you? You're telling me that I need to produce my show differently, that I need to, as a creator, yeah, I'll decide how I create my shit, thanks, Riggs. Yeah? I'm good.
And you can moderate it.
I'm not running a live show. I'm just here talking to your guests. If you don't want me here, fine, I'll disappear. But I'm just here as a guest. That's it. Yeah. For all the people out there that want to moan that I'm not joining a neutral platform, the minute I get there, they want to put me in some position of authority so they can blame that when they get destroyed. And the fact that I'm like, I'm good. I'm all right in this public forum without any control or authority. I don't need moderator privileges. No, we must give them you. No, what about you as the moderator in the room? You run the server. You've definitely got control over the people in this room. You're not going to take charge of the guy asking me repeatedly if I love black people? No words of wisdom being imparted on him? Nah, definitely not. Now, I'm being told how I need to act as a producer. But as a guest,
well, then
I've asked one of your other guests.
To how we run open forum. That's just how it is. You know, I'd prefer you're up here just because of the chaos that's ensuing.
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to cause chaos. It just, when somebody...
Nathan, can I explain something to you?
I could just respond to the guy that's just spoken to me first, if that's possible. I wonder if Riggs will address this guy and say, we just take it one at a time here. Is he going to talk to that guy? No, it's only me that has that subject. That's me. Only me. Is it okay that you shut up while I respond to him?
Go ahead.
All I wanted to do was get one person that I was speaking to at that moment to acknowledge how wrong he was. That's Manufactotum, who said specifically that miles aren't linear. He's wrong. They are linear. We measure Earth flat in miles. Now, I'm trying to get to the conclusion, which is when you, globe believers, derive drop, you derive it from flat Earth measured distance. It was my opener. It was the first thing I said when I said, well, why do you want to talk to me to debate? There is no debate. You will use flat measurements and derive drop from them. Now, we've had Jesse Spastic of Lite do exactly that after 15 times of me pointing it out. And now we've had Manufactotum suggest, incorrectly, that miles are not linear. Now, I want to conclude, as I've now done, subsequent to me explaining it to you, that I am not here to answer any questions. I'm here as a guest. I'm just having fun. Don't need to run a show from some room. If all your panel get very triggered because they're all in desperate need to use flat miles to derive drop from them, that's not me causing chaos. You just measure Earth flat and don't like it. It's not my fault.
It is your fault that you're dodging the question about whether or not you love black people. You're really afraid of that question, Nathan.
See? The moderator was literally engaged in a back and forth conversation with me at this moment. Now there's a guy trying to racially and socially shame me with a gotcha question.
Yep.
Now, what's Riggs doing about this? Is he going to pipe up at all? Do we hear his voice saying, what are you doing? How disgraceful. This is a content producer, and you're going to ask him if he loves black people. Paint him into a racist corner that you want him to be in, so that you don't have to deal with the linear miles. No address to the summary. I'll just point that out as well. This is another red herring. Yeah, it's an attempt to discredit me socially. But it's also ultimately a red herring fallacy.
I've just summarised the point. The first time in about 8 or 9 attempts where it's been concisely heard by the entire server. No, I opened about an hour and a half ago with there's no debate, you'll derive drop from linear flat earth measured miles in distance terminology. That was my opener. Here we are with me explaining it again. Do you like black people? To the response, absolutely zero from the guy who runs the server. Why am I saying all this? It's because there's bias. Yeah? Not bias for me, that's absolutely not the case. Now, did it affect, despite the fact that the guy who runs the server is one rule for thee and one rule for the rest of them? No, definitely not. I mean, they can do whatever the fuck they like. One at a time, much, when I'm being asked about how I like black people in response to, no, miles are definitely linear. Jesse's derived curve from them. Yeah? Response, do you like black people? Checked by the mod? Much? Absolutely not.
That was a perfect opportunity for him to do it as well, because we're not talking about racism or anything here. We're talking about flat Earth, and they're saying it's a globe. What the hell do you love black people have to do with it?
And,
now that guy
it really
should get
shows
kicked
how
the
much of a
fuck
beta
out.
cuck you are.
Now I'm
You
getting
got
called
triggered,
names.
bud. He triggered you.
And I'm getting called names. I say miles are flat.
Answering that question, do you love black people?
That's the fourth time a racial attack's been put towards me in an attempt to socially shame me. Yeah? It's an underhanded red herring away from the linear miles that I've just tried to squeeze out again. And I've been asked, before I got to the repetition of it, through the top of me, I'm hearing, do you like black people, for about the 4th or 5th time. Absolutely zero fucks given from the mod owner who's told me, we take it in turns here. What, to ask about how I like black people? Do I love black people? I had a black girlfriend once that I was in love with. She was very lovely. What's your point? At one time, I loved a black woman. What of it? Is this a black woman loved by? I'm answering you. Hello, I'm answering you. I'm in the middle of the same fucking breath. Can you hear me, you dumb fuck cunt? Do I love black women? No, I've got a white wife. So no, I've got no black loves in my life at the moment. Is it by contrast to your hatred of them, you racist fuck? Did you hear my question?
No, I love black people. I can admit that I love black people. You can't admit that you love black people. You said that you loved a black woman, but like that's like saying I have a black friend. Do you love black people?
This is pathetic. I mean, so far you've been offered a basketball, a racing track. Now you're getting ad hominem attacks, and all you've said from the offset is that this isn't a debate. Earth's measured flat with linear miles.
It's just racist shit.
Yeah, who cares?
So you can't admit that you love black people.
You do realise I am half black. Just answer this. Just for my own benefit, we're at 1 hour 49 minutes. So we'll listen to 10 more minutes. So we're on the 2 hour mark in the video, and then we'll come back to it another day. This guy, you do realise I'm half black, right?
I think what's racist is what happened in his mind, probably.
You realise my dad was from Zambia? He was a teacher in Zambia. That's no bullshit. That's a fact. Do you know that? That just so the audience knows, sometimes I'm being sarcastic. That is actually true. That's not me being sarcastic in any way, shape, or form. That's absolutely true. Sit down and shut the fuck up, you stupid cunt. Do I love black people?
So it should be really simple to say whether or not you love black people.
I've answered you. I have an anecdote about my dad in Zambia. I don't know if I've ever given this anecdote about my dad and the nun. Have I ever told this story?
Not sure, Nathan.
About Victoria Falls? Victoria Falls story? I'll just tell it.
Yes, but let's hear it again.
Okay, so my dad, when he was in Zambia, right, he was a teacher, and there was a field trip or something like that, whatever. There's a whole bunch of people, and they're at the top of Victoria Falls. Now, if you're unaware of what Victoria Falls is, it is the highest waterfall in the world. So it's the longest drop. It's not got the most gallons of water going over it. I think that's Niagara Falls. But in terms of the actual drop, measured perpendicular to a plane of reference, it's the highest, right? So it's a very dangerous waterfall. Anyway, my dad's there, and some of the other teachers in the school is with the nuns. So he's familiar with this particular character in this story, right? A nun who's there at the top of the waterfall with her dog. And the nun lets the dog off the lead, and the dog runs into the river and immediately gets swept away with the current of the river towards the top of Victoria Falls. And my dad runs after the nun because she's about to jump in the river to save the dog. So you've got my dad wrestling with a nun to stop her from jumping into the water. And while he's wrestling with this nun, the dog goes over the edge and dies. And he had to reason with this nun, look, I'm wrestling with you to stop you going in to save the dog because you will die also. You will go over the falls trying to save the dog. There you go. There's my Victoria Falls anecdote from my dad.
Are you sure that's higher than Kitesaw?
I thought Victoria Falls was the tallest. I could be wrong. That's
Where
not the
is
most
it?
important
Where
bit of the
is it?
story. The nun wrestling is the bit that's the amusing bit.
I know, but where is it? Is it in Venezuela, the one you're talking about?
It's in Africa. My dad was a teacher in Zambia, but
okay.
I don't know exactly where, approximately speaking, Victoria Falls is with regards to where he used to work. But anyway, I thought that was a funny anecdote. Moreover, because it's just picturing a man wrestling with a nun. 3 different fucking ways, you stupid cunt.
Anyways, Nathan, it's nice to have you here. Nice to see you. We look forward to hearing what all you have to share with us.
I was asked if I wanted to debate by Jesse, and I said no, because there isn't a debate, because you'll derive sphericity from flat Earth measurements, drop, curve, as he suggested we should debate over. He asked if I debate over Earth curve. I said no, there isn't a debate. And then he's proceeded, in spite of me saying no, a lot of cucks in here don't seem to like taking no for an answer. I mean, that's fine. Fair enough. But then he got forced to the ground and raped with his own measurements of a height off surface level, sea level being the master reference measurement for the height of a mountain, parallel eye level, and distance in linear miles that you'll derive drop from. So Jesse, path of fucktard, derived flat Earth measurements 3 different ways. I mean, that's what's happened here. There is no debate. Earth's measured flat.
We don't need the whole meta recap. Everybody was here. We heard it all.
Oh, so you all understand how flat Earth is measured then here? Did you hear my question?
Miles aren't flat. Miles aren't flat.
Yes, they are. So, yes, they are. We don't need a meta recap of the position that's absolutely fact in terms of how Jesse Path of Light has derived drop with respect to linear mile distance. No, there's no meta recap needed. Actually, miles aren't flat. That's what we've just had. Unbelievable. Do you want to look up what a mile is?
I ran a mile in track events.
I'll look it up right now.
I ran a mile in track events. A track is a curved area.
What a fucking
idiot. Was I not running a mile event?
How did you measure how much curve there was? Let's just extend this discussion a little further. How much curve was there? Was it derived with respect to a horizontal distance in miles by any chance?
It's a track. You've seen like a.
I was asking the guy that just told me that he had got a curved mile. I asked, how curved? How did we derive the drop over the distance? Will we need a linear distance mile? Is it just me or am I being interrupted? A different person answered. I repeat what the White Knight interrupted, and then I'm getting interrupted. Well, that's fun. I was asked something about a track, and I asked, to the millimetre accuracy, can we survey and measure how much drop there is of the track? That was my question.
Yeah, there is no drop because we're not measuring altitude, because it's all on the same horizontal wavelength. It's purely like side to side curvature.
And how much curvature is there? How do we describe and measure the curvature? That would be drop over distance, correct?
There's no drop.
Stuttery bit! So what he's actually doing is he's using a false equivalence fallacy. So instead of basketball, now he's got curved track. It's like we're arguing in a debate forum about the sphericity that's alleged by Jesse, who's derived drop from linear distance. Answer, we've got a horizontal plane and we can have a curved track measurement. It's like, that's a false equivalence then. So it's not comparable to your assumption of sphericity or the measurement of linear miles that's been appealed to by Jesse. It's just another false equivalence.
He also started around the word flat plane
Yeah, he didn't want to say it.
Is running on.
Yeah, he didn't want to say it. He said it's all. What he's saying is there's no curvature of Earth derived like Jesse did from the flat linear miles. It's a flat plane with a curved track. So I know there's no drop over distance because it's a leveled track. Not like the level of the Earth that Jesse appealed to when he suggested there was drop over a flat mile distance. You will derive the drop from the distance, you stuttery fucking retard.
No, he's talking about a track.
I wasn't talking to you. I wasn't talking to you. I was not talking to you. Sorry, we can measure the drop with respect to the distance, though, can't we? We can measure it to the millimetre accuracy. Ordnance Survey do that when they map and survey the terrain. Is it just me, or is there another white knight interrupting the conclusion of how flat Earth gets measured? With drop over distance. That's how we measure how curved things are when we talk about the topographical deviations. But for us to do it, the distance is linear.
Circles of equal elevation.
It's just me, or is this the third interruption to this response to the same guy? I heard track. I heard curve of track. Now I'm still being interrupted. Where's Riggs? We take it in turns here, don't we, Riggs? Still being interrupted. I don't get it. Is it because you? I mean, it's a real shame that I wasn't in the other room where I could be blamed for muting people. Yeah. I mean, in this particular forum, everyone takes it in turns. End quote. The moderator, and that means I should shut up as I'm being interrupted. It would seem, because that only applies to me. I was the only one told, as constant interruptions ensue.
Yeah, you're causing the chaos, buddy.
I'm causing this chaos. Yeah. Being fucking annihilated with your own suggestion that there's a curve to the track, and I'm suggesting that in order to measure how much, we'd need to derive it from a linear distance. Is it just me, or I'm still getting interrupted? Yep, definitely still getting interrupted. No. Maybe I need mod powers. Maybe then you can blame my mute button. No, I don't want mod powers. Yeah. I want the cuck, pissy pants girls to shut their flaps while I point out that the rebuttal I've received is about a curved track. And I've said, really? How much curve? There's a fifth interruption, same interruption. Curve track, you say? We'll need a horizontal linear miles to describe how curved it is. We'll still measure Earth flat to describe the millimetre accuracy of the drop over distance if you suggest the track curves.
Are you suggesting a track doesn't curve?
In terms of the topographical deviation from a horizontal baseline measured in miles? No, when you're describing a track, it's generally flat.
Does it curve in any sense? Does it curve in any sense?
Sorry, is this track debate or Earth surface debate when we have worldwide in the discussion?
Analogies. These are analogies.
Sorry, do we need to make the question of sphericity again?
Curve.
Did I not cover this earlier? Do we need to make a false comparison where we compare something that isn't the world we measure flat in miles to something else?
You don't like it,
I haven't finished my answer to you.
Just because you don't like
I'm answering you.
False.
I'm answering you. Yeah, it's the fifth attempt. No, when we make a false comparison to something the world isn't measured as, that's miles, linear distances, and when we describe curve with respect to the land and its measurements, they are derived from the linear miles that are measured. Level, linear, flat. That's how we describe topographical. That's the sixth interruption to my response to you.
It just takes you a long time. It takes you a long time.
Oh, my bad. Are you too fucking retarded that you can't cope for a few minutes? Again, where's the mod? Where's Riggs? We take it in turns here, unless, of course, it's me being interrupted 6 times. Then we don't take it in turns. Then it's perfectly legit for the moderator who's told me specifically that we take it in turns to allow 6 interruptions to a response to the very person interrupting. The guy that's asked for a response and I'm giving it. Explanation to your question, you fucking retard. Again, I'll just highlight, why are you saying this, Nathan? Is it that you don't like Riggs? No, on the contrary, I couldn't give a shit about him. Right? My point is that while I'm being told that I need to attend neutral platforms, they're never neutral. Yeah? This will be considered by our opponents on the ball side. There isn't an opponentry, there's just flat Earth measurements. That's kind of the point here. But when it's suggested that I should attend a neutral platform, this is what they mean, right? A platform where I can be continuously interrupted. Yeah? And when I repeat myself, because I've been continually interrupted, I get told, well, you're just repeating yourself. Things like that. That's what's tolerated on neutral platforms. Is this fair? Definitely not. For a start, it's me against about 30 people who are constantly interrupting. When one white knight goes down, another one jumps in. When that white knight has his points addressed with constant incessant interruption, I'll be told that I'm talking too much and causing the chaos. That's what neutral really means. And this is a useful demonstration of it. Even when there's literally a mod there to tell me off, it won't change how utterly biased the reality is. There's no neutral platforms. No one's treating me as a flat earther with respect and saying, oh, my bad, I'll just stop these 5 people interrupting you 20 times. That's never going to happen. There's no neutrality. It doesn't alter that I will beat the living fuck out of every one of you globe-believing spastics every time, regardless of how much bias you are afforded in these so-called neutral platforms. You're still all having your ass handed to you, aren't you? With every single advantage being offered to you, and every disadvantage that's, I should be playing by rules where I allow everyone to take it in turns. So I'm being told as I'm interrupted incessantly. Doesn't matter though, does it? I'm still winning. I see learning difficulties, ADHD, too fucking dumb to listen to an explanation that you've asked for a couple of seconds. What a fucking retard.
Well, when you start looping, like when you start repeating yourself, then that's when my mind's like, okay, let's move this.
Somebody put to me that we could make a comparison to the curve of a track.
You don't have to say it 4 times.
No, I was responding to something you'd put to me. Could we compare it? And I said, is this another false comparison to an assumption that's begging the question of sphericity? There you go. I got to the end that time.
Yep.
Yeah, no, because it's not a debate on the sphericity of the Earth or anything like that. It's specifically where the debate is about whether or not miles can curve. And when we're invoking the track or invoking a hike, hikes are measured in miles, and yet it is not a linear
They're all
conception.
fucking linear.
When I drive on a road, don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt.
But Neil interrupted because this guy has just said heights that are absolutely unequivocally linear distance measurements. You don't have bent heights. But that's what this guy's just said, right? I know miles can bend, like with altitudes. That's what he just said. So obviously Neil's gone, what a crock of shit. Because he's inferring bent heights. No, definitely not. Hence Neil's interruption. Because these people are retarded. Like, you don't think heights are linear distance. Okay.
Well, he was right. There isn't a debate about Earth curve.
Yeah, he was right that there's no debate.
Nathan Oakley, you beta cuck retard. So when we measure miles on a road, the road is always curving, yet we are still measuring it in miles.
Yeah, so these people, they think that we acquire the measurements that we get for the scales on maps with tachometers. That's essentially his argument. Oh, I can get a distance from a tacho. Yeah, that's how we map the world.
When I'm running a track, I'm constantly turning left, and I'm turning left, and then rotating around the track.
So now we've got measurements from a pedometer on a track.
4 different times. I'm never changing an elevation whatsoever. But even though I'm staying on my horizontal baseline, I'm still...
One further point. Notice how I am not interrupting this guy. He's getting to make his point. Now I've actually got his attention and pulled all the white knights aside. He's not being interrupted by me. He's getting to make his point, you'll notice. A one at a time thing that I'm being held to.
Curving using miles as my metric. When I go around the track 4 times, 400 meters each, I have done a mile. And that is an example of how we use miles that curve.
What a fucking idiot.
When we actually exist in the real world with hiking, with driving, with running track, these are examples of how we actually use miles that have nothing to do with the drop over distance or how you would measure the sphericity or lack of sphericity of the Earth. All we're measuring is whether or not a mile can curve.
See, that's how he wants the debate to go. Either the sphericity
or the lack of sphericity. What's that? You're a flat earther? You need to argue for the lack of sphericity. And I will argue for the sphericity using linear mile measurements as I make a false equivalence comparison to a track or basketball. Good.
Yeah. Saying 2 seconds ago, he said he wasn't, the conversation wasn't about severity of Earth, it was just about miles.
Yeah.
And these are examples of how miles can curve and how we actually use those in real life. Maybe you've never ran track in your life. You don't really seem that active. That might be the case. Maybe you've never done a hike in your life.
He's made his point. Yeah, my track miles bend. That's his point, right? I've heard it. Now I'm getting a string of ad homs attached to the end of it. Maybe you've never run track. Maybe you've never done this.
I don't know if you have a driver's license. If you don't have a driver's license, then maybe you've never driven on a curved road.
You done?
So, maybe these things aren't things that you've ever actually had experience with.
This is the
I
trick,
understand.
so you don't
but
get
now
to the
you
answer.
have a perspective. Now you have an understanding from somebody that does do these things. So hopefully you can correct yourself.
I've now got an understanding from someone who's used a pedometer and tachometer. That's what he's suggesting. So we measure Earth with a tacho.
In the future.
Okay, thanks.
I'm done.
When we're describing miles on a map with the scale, does that have a describable deviation on the scale of a map when it has miles specifically attributed to the as the crow flies distances over the ground without any topographical deviations? Do you think that the scale on a map is curving or linear?
I can say that is linear. Sure, I can say I don't know.
Three little fucking retard! How my fucking balls taste. That's right. The miles that we measure the Earth with to accurately describe it with a map. It's all right. I'm just going to fucking rape you now with your own fucking linear miles on the scale of a map. When we're describing the topography of the land in distance as the crow flies, as measured for the accuracy in linear fucking miles. That's right. Did you hear him, you bunch of spastics? It's fucking linear. I wonder what the reaction to this will be. So I've been told by 3 different people up to this point, no, miles can bend. Now we've got a measurement structure for mapping and distance in miles. That's to say the actual Earth measurement, not basketball measurement, not track and field measurement, but Earth's surface measurement in miles. Just to make that absolutely clear, in case you hadn't picked up on it from the discussion itself, they've been using false equivalence to try and steer away from how flat Earth is measured in miles. Now I'm going to guess that this is the 30th time I've put this to this panel. And now, for the first time in about 30 attempts, we've got the concession. Oh yeah, I mean miles when it comes to Earth's surface that's been measured for the maps. That's linear. Yeah, it is, yeah. It's the same linear miles that would have been appealed to originally by Jesse when he said we've got a curve describable from the miles. That was my opener. That's right, Earth's measured flat in miles as per the scales on the maps that have been measured with respect to Earth's surface, and it is linear, flat and horizontal. That's how we measure distance of the Earth, not of a fucking wank track used in false equivalence, like on the maps that are, quote, linear, end quote, fucktard. That's right, Earth's measured flat in linear miles.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody.
A while ago, you said, look up what a mile.
Right, we're going to pause there at the 2-hour mark on this particular video. I'm happy to stay live for another 5 or 10 minutes if anybody wants to react, because I've done most of the reacting. If not, I'll round out in a moment.
Well, there's a couple of things I wanted to go into the chat for.
Good.
Okay, one of them is Set to West. He says, after all this shit show at Worldwide Debate, Nathan still doesn't realize all lines are linear with length, and even if a path is piecewise straight, it won't imply a straight path in total.
Even if it's straight and flat, it don't mean it's straight and flat. Is that what I just said?
Even if it's piecewise, Nathan.
Oh, man. This is where we're at. Oh.
Just because it's measured flat, linear, and horizontal, that don't mean it's flat, linear, and horizontal. Just because it's linear, flat, and horizontal. What kind of idiot are you? Just because it's flat and linear, don't mean it's flat and linear. Hello?
And then he goes on to say, you mean you choose a definition and think reality has to follow it. Tell me how a distance implies flat Earth.
I didn't
and
give a definition.
Every time
I didn't give a definition. Map, scale, hello, azimuth. That's flat horizontal directionality. Due east. Now, azimuth's described from north in a degree horizontally, right? What's east? What's that? A degree from north, azimuth, horizontal. It's absolutely flat. That's what you're describing. A horizontal system called azimuth. When you want to ascribe a directionality eastward, getting your bearings north, degrees from it. Now, those are horizontal without question. It's in your own name. But this guy's suggesting that just because it's flat, just because it's linear, doesn't mean it's flat, doesn't mean it's linear. Okay, shite argument.
Now he's going to mathematics because he's saying triangles are piecewise. No shit, Sherlock. We're talking about the nature of Earth and how it's measured.
Yeah, on screen now is a load of elevation angles.
Never mentioned.
Let me just point it out. Diagrammatically exampled on screen.
Sphericity.
Yeah, one deck.
Sorry, Nathan. I was just saying, it's funny how they never mention sphericity, but they argue about,
linear straight lines.
Horizontal. Linear straight lines. Yeah. Never mention curvature. There's this thing that they believe they live on this sphere, which you've got no measurements for, and whatever measurements they provide, you just pointed out on that show, will be flat and horizontal. Level.
Absolutely.
Now they respond. That whole shit show about the basketball track, atomic attacks, talking about bloody black people. These are the globe believers who believe they live on a globe, and this is all got. It's pathetic.
What we have to start doing now, I think, is when they start talking about this track, show me the curved mile end.
We can't. If it's curving, it has to be derived from a reference in the first instance to describe how much it's curving. And in the case of ball believers, their origin for the derivation after the fact, that's the squared bit, yeah, is flat and linear. So to have 8 inches per mile squared means that the line in the horizontal with an ascribed value in miles comes first, and then after you've got a distance in linear flat miles, you can describe a squared function from it. It axiomatically is required by them to be flat. Now, Neil's suggestion is their response would be, no, the mile that's flat and linear I describe a squared function from curves. Okay? What's the rate the mile curves from? Does it have a horizontal distance ancillary to the curved mile that we can describe the rate of the curve from in horizontal terminology to begin the process of deriving the curve with it? No, we use miles for that. That's where you get your 8 inches per mile squared from. You require it to be flat. Everybody does. That's the convention. That's what miles are. Like when I go, okay, so we've had our red herring fallacies used in the form of basketballs and track and field tracts. Now we're at the point where we're talking about Earth measurements specifically, and we're comparing the measurements of the Earth to the scale on the map. again, just for anybody who's in the chat that thinks, am I defining this? No, I'm referencing measurements used to make a map and the linear distances on those scales to describe distances with. That's how we describe distances. Flat and linear as per the measurements that you need to infer curve width. Everyone measures Earth flat. With that, though, I'm going to say a huge, massive, enormous thank you first and foremost to both Discord and G+ panels for making today's live show possible. If you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley premiering streams, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. But before I do, massive thank you to Charlie Handsome, who says, keep up the great work, Nathan, with a super chat. So thank you very much indeed to Charlie Handsome. Once again, stay tuned if you're watching on a premiering stream. However, if you are watching live, this is where we bid you farewell. So another massive thank you once again to the Discord G+ panels, those of you who smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, joined as a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member, hit me up on PayPal. If you can't afford to do so, tip me. Go to the coffee link and send me a tip if you've got the money to do so. I would encourage anybody who has the facilities or the funds to support this channel to actually do that via the coffee link. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.
But when you measure it flat, it contradicts that. I'm spitting flat facts and that. And I know you don't like that. Google Maps is flat, it presents elevation profiles like that. I'm a spitting flat earth king. Sentence has a ring, doing my own thing. If Earth was a big roast chicken, factually finger licking chicken, we just got the measurements missing. I'm spitting eggs and begs, begging the question lesson. I've said it before, time after time. I'm the spitting flat earth king of rhyme.